now and say, I want Josh Taylor and get the Josh Taylor fight. Because he takes that phone. That's right. So anybody on that pipeline right now, that's a big deal.
I talked his ass with the same day that James Tony came and signed the contract.
Wow.
So I'm talking to Bobo on the phone like this. Look, I got Zab on one phone, I got James on one phone.
He's gonna beat Sean. Everybody listen, he's gonna beat Sean. He's gonna beat Sean. You know what? Our buddy. Coming to you live on the afternoon spot. Hold on, what is going on? All right, there we go. What up? Welcome to Let's Talk Sports Show. We got a lot to get into. Shout out to Boxing in DC. All my guys out there. What up? We can start in many places. We can talk about the Commanders first. What we're gonna do? We're gonna unpack what happened in Lambeau last night, and it was pretty quiet game. You know, both teams had their moments, and where the game was really lost, that was in the trenches. If we just get to it, the game was won and lost in the trenches. It was won by Green Bay in the trenches, and it was lost in the trenches by the Commanders. That's where it really was at. You know what I mean? Neither quarterback played bad. Neither quarterback played like out of this world, but they young and they look. And for the Commander fans, are doing all the boo-hooing all up and down social media. It's only one game. Relax. It's one game. It's only one game. You know what I mean? It happens. But Green Bay, that Micah trade, Jerry. What in God's name was you thinking about when you made that trade? I mean, because he clearly would. I mean, he rained havoc last night. And it's big. You know, his presence to be able to keep, mobile quarterbacks in the pocket and forcing, people to slide multiple people his way is a game changer. And it's a game changer. And Green Bay, whoever the guy forgot they DC, but he was smart, to teach his, corners that, hey man, when you got pass rushes like that, get up on the receivers. Don't give them a cushion. So that way, and then, if the quarterback throw a quick pass, it's easy to jump routes. They're gonna get a rack of pick six this year. That's something that I don't know why. When we had Micah, we only had one pass rusher. Whatever. It's not about us. But bottom line is Packers 2-0, Commanders 1-1, and then like I said, it's just one game. It's just one game, so they'll bounce back, and we'll see what they do on their next one. But yeah, that's not a whole lot to that. A whole lot to that. But they did maintain y'all to 51 yards rushing, and between the running backs, that's 34. So they held y'all to so like I said, the battle of the trenches is where the game was won and lost. You know what I mean? So they, we'll see. We'll get into the rest of the NFL, but it is fight week. And so many of the bros of my compadres and friends are all in Las Vegas. And I mean, even though I'm not in Las Vegas, I got a shot. Listen, the love feel good. I got plenty of shout outs yesterday, so I must be doing something halfway decent. I appreciate all y'all that support, those that support week in and week out. I do see you. I do got some things for you. Like I said, I'm working diligently behind the scenes to improve on a lot of stuff, but definitely appreciate the love. We got plenty of shout outs yesterday from Vegas fight week. But now the fight we've been looking for, or the fight that people have been waiting for, is finally here. And I'm still so torn about this fight. I had a long debate with my man Kenny and Chuck and Charlie the other day about this fight. I'm so torn on this fight because Oh man, it just don't seem real. You know what I mean? Got people at the press conference going at Dana White. I don't know, man. It just seems, it just seems so. I don't know, man. The weight thing, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I said where I mean, I'm gonna pick Bud. I didn't want to pick him because I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to. I want Bud to win, but I didn't want to jinx it. But the reason why I pick him because Canelo can be outboxed. He's been outboxed many a times. He's been outboxed by Floyd. He got outboxed by Aslandy Laurie. He got outboxed by Bivol. He really struggled with this guy William Skull. He just fought. So I think Bud can outbox him. And then people say, do you think he can handle the weight, this, that, and the third? But see, this is what Bud did differently from what Jamel Charlo did. Jamel Charlo was out of the ring for about a year. And the only thing he did, instead of cutting weight all the way down to 168, all the way down to 154, he just kept the weight off and just chopped off a little bit of weight to stay at 168, which is not exactly how you would want. What Bud was able to do, Bud was able to actually weight train himself up to 168. So, I don't know about his punching power being able to affect Canelo, but he should be able to handle the weight and handle the weight rather easily. Like I said, Canelo can be outboxed. Great fighter, talented fighter, great head movement, technically sound, but in terms of being able to cut the ring off and footwork and all that, that's just not his game. So, like I said, Terrence has the opportunity to do, to outbox him. Now, for those that saying he might stop Canelo, this, that, and the third, I'm going to say what I've been saying. If he knocks out Canelo or stops Canelo, I want him tested. Flat out. I want him tested. You know what I'm saying? Flat out. But like I said, he has the tools now. He definitely has the tools in the shed to get the job done. But in terms of just going out there and beating up Canelo, nah, you got to show me that. You got to show me that, brother. You got to show me that. Callum Watts versus Fernando Vargas Jr., Christian Mabili versus Lester Martinez, Brandon Allen versus Boba Chuck. Okay. That's like Jermaine Franklin. I like that fight. Steve Nelson and Santana. So all in all, that ain't the card ain't one of them cards that just jump off at you and be like, oh, I'm so glad but again, it's a great fight. You know what I mean? For those tapping in, we're talking about the Commanders and the Packers. We talking about Bud versus Canelo, and also we're going to talk about that WNBA playoff that's about to pop up and pop off. You know what I mean? Because that came in hot and heavy. But like I said, the Commanders, like I said, the game was lost in the trenches last night. It was a good, quiet game. You know what I mean? Solid performance by both teams, solid performance by both quarterbacks. But where the game was won and lost was the battle of the O-lines and the D-lines. And both sides of the ball, Green Bay won the battle of the trenches. You know what I mean? They won the battle with the trenches, and that right there is normally a good formula. Lack of low turnovers, dominate the trenches, that lead to wins. Green Bay will be a formidable out for anybody this year. I feel bad when they come to Dallas, man. I mean, they going dang. Jerry. How do you do that? Should Washington consider trading for Tyreek Hill, especially when the offensive struggle? Honestly, any team, the way Miami looking right now, and I'm sure he's frustrated. Any team, Tyreek, you know what I mean? He's a game changer. And if they was to trade for him, that would change the whole season because he opens up so much. You know what I mean? He opens up the whole field for everybody. Like you can use him in so many ways. So everybody should consider. Yes, they should, but everybody should consider trading for him. You know, especially seeing they like another week like the one they had last week happens. He was already frustrated at the end of last year. Yeah, Tyreek would definitely probably be willing to be moved. And yeah, everybody should consider trade for him. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely that. But like I said, last night, it wasn't necessarily the offense struggled. It's just they lost the battle with the trenches. The Green Bay up front was controlling the line. You know what I mean? They was controlling the line, and then they whole offensive line moving wherever Michael went, they trying to foul him. And I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm gonna be clear. They got away with like 15 holding calls on Michael last night. So yeah, so like I said, it's only one game. It's only one game. Y'all will be fine. You definitely know y'all still a contender. So yeah, just take it one game at a time. What else y'all want to talk about? We want to talk about Bird versus Canelo. What we talking about? Talk to me this morning. You know what I mean? It's fight week in Vegas. Fight week in Vegas. You know what I mean? Appreciate all the shout outs I got from Vegas yesterday. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Just love. Love, 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 love. We got some stuff going on, man. We got some stuff going on. Like I said in our previous show, we got a lot of content that we got to unpack and just get out to the masses. I've been letting some of it go. Because as I wanted to, because I had people on TikTok questioning my if what I was saying was authentic or not. So I had to show them that, hey man, let me step out and show y'all that because what it was, I was at the Mystic versus the Sky game, and I bumped into Angel Reese's brother. And I asked him, I ain't gonna lie, because it was like, whenever the team loses, like they take these games so hard, so they be in the press conference, it'd be like, what do I ask her? So I did go up to him and I said, man, you know what, man, about to interview your sister. What should I ask her? Man, you know what, man, forget that, man. Ask her who went between me and her one-on-one. And that's what I did. I did just that. And then I came back out there and I told him what she said, and he wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? He wasn't feeling it. But here you go. Wrote a song about it.
Crazy game today, man. Crazy game. Even with the loss, she's still showing love. Even with the L, she's still showing love. It's a crazy game, man. Crazy game. Shout out to Angel Reese. You know what I'm saying? The whole family out here. You know what I mean? Mama, grandma, everybody.
He said biggest concern is running back position. So should JCM, aka Bill, be the starter since Eckler? Huh? They lost Eckler for the season last night? Ooh. I missed that. Ooh. That's a game changer because he's that's the game changer because he was more he did more than just run the ball. He's a pass catcher. He could be a punt returner, kick returner. So that's a major loss. So yeah, I would say I need to see more of your other running back. I need to see more of him. But what I would say, I would definitely get on the phone and try to make some trades. We'll try to make some trades. It's a lot of running backs out there. It's a ton of running backs out there that you got more running backs than pretty much any other position out there. So you should be able to get one, but I would definitely try to get more of a bell cow type. You know what I mean? It's like the running backs you got is nice, they just small. You know what I mean? I don't mean small, but you know what I mean. They not bruisers. You know what I mean? You need somebody that's gonna drag a few people. So now that Brian Robinson trade really, that Brian Robinson trade look a little different right now. Look a little different right now. But again, like I said, you got a talented team. It's only one game. Y'all will bounce back. You get 10 days off for your next game. Y'all bounce back. they'll bounce back. But man, I missed that. I don't know how I missed that. I must have went to get something out of the fridge or something when that happened. But yeah. Yeesh. I know what happened. I was splitting, but see when the Aces versus Sparks game come on, y'all know I cover the WNBA. I cover the WNBA, so I gotta be up on the game. So I was watching the Aces versus the Sparks on one side of the room, and then looking at the Commanders versus the Packers on the other side. That's probably how I missed it. You know what I mean? That's probably how I missed it. But I gotta make sure I'm up on my game. I can't be out there covering the game, talking all that stuff, and I ain't up on the game. So I had to watch the Aces. If they took over the number 2 seed, won 16 straight games, and now everybody's calling for Asia to be the MVP. And I do not want her to win MVP. I'm going to say this again. I do not want Asia Wilson to win the WNBA MVP this year. I do not want Asia Wilson to win the WNBA MVP. And because the simple fact is, give it defeat, and I want Asia to stay hungry. It would be fitting for her to win the championship this year. If she wins the championship this year, that is a huge booga. So I don't want her to win MVP. I want her to win Finals MVP. If she's gonna get an MVP, I mean, give her Defensive Player of the Year. She's definitely Defensive Player of the Year. But I want her to win Finals MVP because that's where the bread is buttered. That's where the bread is gonna be buttered. I want to come down to Minnesota and the Aces in the finals. Her go and get that chip, and that'll be the ultimate. And for Fee, you got to win the chip this year. If she win MVP, she can win all she wants. She gotta get a chip. You gotta come to the cookout. You gotta come to the cookout. We not getting more participation awards out here. What we want to talk about this morning, man. That was my WNBA rant. I got one more rant coming for the WNBA, but we talking about the Commanders and the Pack last night. We talking about Bud versus Canelo. Do you believe the Niners season is already over, especially losing Brock Purdy? Shucks. It's hard to say already over. It's hard to say already over. We at least got to see what they look look how they look. Because they was able to win last week. But let's see how they look coming up. Let me look at their schedule. And I'll tell you, because I'm on there right now. Let me look at what they're working with. So they got New Orleans. See, they got New Orleans. They should be able to get by New Orleans. Because New Orleans right this year is a dumpster fire. You know what I mean? But then you got Arizona, which is Arizona should beat them. Jacksonville is iffy. Then you got the Rams, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, Houston. Woo-wee. So if he miss all 5 of them, they could legitimately go 1-4, 2-3 at best. So that would, they definitely. I mean, it's gonna be hard. Yeah, that's gonna be hard for them to get out that hole. It's gonna be hard to get out that hole. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be hard to get out that goal. With Mac Jones, yeah. We seen enough of him out in New England. I don't know. He might be resurrected though, because Kyle Shanahan. Let me take that back, because Kyle Shanahan is the master of running the ball. You still got CMC. You still got, they got Brian Robinson. So yeah, they legit could make something shake. But yeah, they're not beating Arizona with Mac Jones. They're not beating the Rams with Mac Jones. They're not beating Tampa Bay with Mac Jones. Maybe it was still one from Jacksonville or Atlanta, but they definitely using the Houston with Mac Jones. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That be that. You know what I'm saying? That be that. Then we got we will do our official fight predictions tomorrow. I predict our official fight predictions. Like I said, I want Bud to win. You know what I mean? But Something about this fight I ain't never really bought into this fight. You know what I mean? I was never really bought into this fight. So maybe I just gotta find a way to just lock in, because I ain't even like I said, I purposely didn't get caught up in it. You know what I mean? But boxing fans, this is what we do, and they here now. And I just said I want to see Bug retire undefeated. But I don't want to hear all of that. He would have knocked out Floyd stuff. Say that for another time. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? He would have knocked out Mayweather. Let me check. Matter of fact, did we go through our predictions for the week for the rest of the games this week? Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. Ish. But dang, Brock Purdy down 2 to 5 weeks. Eckler gone for the year. But yeah, y'all be fine. But I would definitely trade for a running back. I would definitely trade for a more sturdy bell cow type running back. You know what I mean? I would definitely look for one there. They got some serviceable backs out there. They do. And again, for the WNBA fans, I say again, I do not want Asia Wilson to win MVP. If I had to give a vote right now, I would still give it to Fee. Not because I just want Fee to get it. I would still give it to Fee. I'll still give it to Fee because Fee's team got the #1 record, and Fee was pretty much did what she did. I'm not going to use the injury, but I ain't going to lie. Asia did make what a case she made. Now, I think that there's no question she's the best player in the league. I think we got to stop the debate. That debate should be over. Now, if you want to give Fee the MVP, that's fine, but I think it's clear cut that Asia is her. I think that should be no more debates. There's no more reason to even go through that. The fact that she was able to make this MVP race that close speaks volumes. 16 straight wins, 20-3 in their last 23 games. Hey man. There's a guy who could really see getting very cheap is Kamara. Well, I'm pretty sure he would want out of the situation he's in, because he's definitely in football Siberia right now. They've completely, blew that franchise up. They have no real chance to win nothing except they just literally a punching bag. So yeah, he might want to get up out of there, and he might want to they might be able to make a deal. You know what I mean? Make a reasonable deal. I would kick the tires at that. If I was the front office, which we know you have an aggressive front office, so I would kick the tires at that. The only front office in the NFC East that's not aggressive just happens to be a guy named JJ. And when he is aggressive, it's going the wrong direction, giving players away like Michael Parsons. How do you do that? Right before the season starts, just throw the whole year in frenzy. Diabolical. But yeah, the Green Bay, for those who's online saying that crazy stuff, the Cowboys won that trade. Come on, man. We ain't even in the ballpark of winning that trade. Michael was all over the place last night. He was a menace. He was getting holding calls. He was wrecking the joint. So yeah, shout out to Michael Parsons. Wish him nothing but the best. Wish Jerry wasn't such a bonehead. But here we are. And again, we'll do an all boxing show tomorrow about midday. All boxing. We're just gonna talk boxing. Get back to the old days. I'm gonna see if I can slide a couple of, my guys from out Vegas in to just, tell us what's going on out there. Get a couple insights, see what they seen, what the feel of it was to be at the weigh-in and all of that kind of stuff. So we'll tap into all of that tomorrow. And I'll reach out to some of the guys tonight to see if I can get them to just slide through and just share a few words. Matter of fact, doodle, 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 doodle. See what everybody talking about. See what they popping on out here. Speaking, oh wow. Oh wow. Cheap viewers. Shout out to Twitch. What were your thoughts on the game? I thought the game was won in the trenches. What was your thoughts on the game? But I thought the game was won in the trenches. I think, both quarterbacks played decent, but, Green Bay was able to win both sides of the ball on the offensive and defensive line. And that's where it basically was won. Now, I ain't gonna lie, they got a lot of fast receivers, man. Them boys got a lot of fast receivers. So as he develops his chemistry with them receivers, he could be a problem. They could be a problem. And that Michael trade put him over there. I believe that there will be a trade for Tyreek Hill because AP always said that he wants to get Jaden Daniels weapons. Like I said, right now, like those trades you're talking about, I know it's only week 1, week 2, but we could clearly see the frustration of Tyreek in Miami, and we could see the frustrations of Kamara in New Orleans. So yeah, if I was the front office, I'd kick the tires at all those trades because they're on losing franchises and they're gonna be putting up crazy numbers just to be on a team. Tyreek used to win it, so yeah, like I said, I can see that being a trade, but I'm sure Miami gonna want a hefty price. You know what I mean? Miami gonna want a hefty price. Now, Kamara might come a little cheaper, but I think Tyreek gonna cost. Because they invested a lot in him for that franchise. So that's gonna cost. Talk to me, Dialante. You know what I mean? Talk to me. Y'all got a big game Sunday too. The Super Bowl rematch. And you should be favored. I agree. The Packers pass rush overwhelmed that O-line. That's the second straight week. I wasn't overly impressed with Daniels and the Commanders' offense. The film being out, maybe taking. Man, knock it. Now, don't be no hater. Now, it's only week 2, and they went against 2 formidable D-lines the first 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Giants got a rebuilt D-line, got young talent, young, fast talent. They got a baby Micah in Carter. And then last night they had Micah with a nice little D-line that was going on. So I'm not going to hold that against Jaden Daniels. And Jaden Daniels had a lot of passes that should have been caught and was dropped. So I'm not going to do that to the young man. However, they definitely lost the battle with the trenches. If you want to win big games and you in a win now, made and want to win a Super Bowl, you got to go all in. That's facts. That's what Philadelphia definitely do. Philadelphia go all in. They definitely the best ran front office in the league by far. I don't know if Jerry is the worst, but he ain't far from it when it comes to run that front office. I have no idea what he be thinking about. But that's not a topic right now. Talk to me in the comment section. Y'all want to talk about the NFL game last night, or you want to talk about Bud versus Canelo, or the WNBA? Which y'all want to talk about here, man? I got a few more minutes. Talk to me. But I ain't gonna lie, that Packers front, man, Michael got them boys on fleek when it comes to in the trenches, man. And I'm gonna say it again, they got away with like 15 holding calls on Michael last night. Who I got winning the Canelo fight? I want Bud to win. But because one thing for sure, 2 things for sure. Canelo is not cutting the ring off. Canelo not cutting the ring off on nobody. You know what I mean? He's an excellent, technically sound fighter, but cutting off the ring, footwork, that's not his thing. That's not what he do. So if Bud can, shoot the jab, move around, do what he got to do. He can make it really, really. He can make it really, really hard on Canelo to get to him, and he can outbox him that way. Now, however, the Canelo effect is real. The Canelo effect is real. So just because you winning on the cards by scoring more points, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get the fight because he's Canelo, so he does have that effect on the scorecard. However, Bud needs to just stay smart, and stay busy. Okay, if you're going to outbox him, you got to be busy. You know what I mean? So let's see, man. But I believe Bud can do it. I believe Bud can do it. Well, I hope so. But yeah, so and the fight card is kind of underwhelming. It's kind of underwhelming, the whole fight card. But like I said, I'm sure they're gonna find ways to keep you entertained as the fight goes. Something that I like about the Commander team is our kicker took full responsibility for the loss, which shows that players are taking accountability. I agree. I'm rooting for Bud, but if I was betting I had to go with Canelo. I don't know. It's interesting. It's one of those fights that it's like, truthfully, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think nobody's wrong either way they bet. It's truthfully one of those fights where it's going to be very, very hard to pick one or the other dude because it's just so much unknown. You know what I mean? You got a guy going up multiple weight classes. Is the weight going to be too much for him? We don't know. Is Canelo going to be too powerful for him? We don't know. Is he going to be way too fast for Canelo? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's so much of the unknown. You know what I mean? But we gotta get ready to get up out of here. Like I said, we're gonna do an all boxing show tomorrow. Nothing but boxing. We're gonna break down the fight. But hopefully I can get a couple people that's out there live in Vegas, to give me a live update from that, what's going on out there in Vegas. They prepare for tomorrow night's showdown. You know what I mean? Paul taking out Tank. Get out of here. You ain't that crazy. He ain't taking out no Tank. Bud got to get to that body early. Ruin that technique Canelo had. I mean, he going to have to be strategic. He going to have to be real strategic if he's going to go to the body. Because the counter punch that is most effective against somebody going to the body is the pretty much the best thing in Canelo's arsenal. I'm not saying Bud can't get to his body or go to his body. I'm just saying that's going to have to be very, very calculated, and he's just got to be way faster than Canelo because, like I said, the number one punch for when somebody dig into your body is the left uppercut, and then also is the left uppercut and that straight the straight right, and those are Canelo's best joints. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you want to go into the eye of the storm. You know what I mean? I think Bud can use the ring, use his agility and speed and movement to overwhelm Canelo and keep him at bay and outbox him for 12. I don't know if you want to go to the meat shop. You know what I'm saying? Being the smaller guy in the ring with somebody that's definitely, that's his, like I said, that's his best attribute. You know what I mean? In terms of when it's time for big time fights, just throwing that upper. Yeah. Woo-wee. But with that said, man, we gotta get up out of here. I will be live tomorrow. Nothing but boxing though. But like I said, we got so much more material that we got to drop to y'all, man. Of us being in just different events. Got some stuff coming up soon with the NFLPA too, man. So stay tuned, man. If you have not done so, please like and subscribe to the Let's Talk Sports Show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok. And like I said, WNBA, let Fee be MVP. I want Lafisa Kalia as the MVP. Aja Wilson, Defensive Player of the Year. 6th Person of the Year. That should. Ooh, 6th Person of the Year. 6th Person of the Year. 6th Person of the Year. Boom. Lexi Hall. And then I think about it. Most improved player this year. I gotta think. But we out of here, man. Appreciate you.